Welcome, Libra, to the Temple of Tarot, Astrology, and Yoga. My name is Ava, and I'm going to be your oracle for the month of August 2025. This is an Astro tarot forecast relevant to you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Libra. I have a little sprinkling of Libra in my chart because I have a cuspy rising sign between Libra and Scorpio. Leans, I think, a little into Scorpio, about 2 degrees, but it carries with it still the ambiance, the mood of Libra. So I identify with this reading as well. Before we begin, I just wanted to mention that there's 2 bits of channel news. First, I've created a sort of a glimpse into what will be experienced in the next 7 to 8 years with Uranus transiting into Gemini. This happened on July the 7th. So I just wanted to, it's a huge span of time, and many things can happen within that span. So what this does is just give us a lovely overview. And I did one for each of the zodiac signs. And secondly, the yoga that I'm going to be presenting here on this particular video, and for most of the ones this month, instead of doing classic yoga, I'm presenting you with a new category, shall we say, of yoga. And these movements and poses that I'm going to show you, or at least I'm going to show you one on this video, come from the shamans of ancient Mexico. And they have, interestingly, the oomph, the sort of power that built those beautiful cities in Mexico in ancient times. So I'm in the process of sort of reviving interest in these, in this yoga. They call each of their movements, ritualistic movements, passes. So I'm going to include one pass at the end of this reading that speaks to what is revealed by the reading energetically. So hopefully, so wait for that. So let's begin. Your forecast. This is an Astro tarot forecast. We start with astrology as a sort of a base foundation for the tarot reading, which will follow. It just gives us where we are in the world cosmologically. Venus still is transiting Cancer, which is your 10th house. And this is very good news for matters of career, for your reputation, for your public standing. So Venus being symbolic of love and compassion and beauty and cooperation brings this element into the field of your career. So therefore, it generates career opportunities, recognition for your work, being heralded for your achievements, finding allies, friends within your career spectrum. There's offers that can come to you in regards to your career. It's easier to approach authority with confidence if you wish to garner any benefit, advancement. This is a period also where you feel very innovative, and you can participate in collaborative projects that create either beauty or towards a humanitarian cause. That is the groundwork that Venus presents. Mars goes into Leo on the 2nd. This puts it into your 11th house. Again, a very compatible coincidence of energy. Mars, again, is symbolic of assertive, forward moving energy, passionate energy. And so therefore, when it's in the house of friendship, your hopes and dreams, group activities, this is then predictive of group activities that are very dynamic. You're bringing people together, either for a social, or again, because of Venus, a humanitarian cause and a humanitarian overtone. So both of these houses produce innovative and unconventional ideas. Ideas that either come from your heart or that you feel driven by some greater cause, a greater ideal. Now, Mars can be competitive. You might be in a competitive environment, fighting back in a sense. But you have the courage and the strength given to you through the generosity of the cosmos, and you feel empowered. So empowered in. So this is a very social month. Now, if you're hidden in a cabin like I am, and you do your work like I do from home, and there aren't a lot of people around me, well then, it's less social and more internal. This kind of drive, this wanting to collaborate, even if you don't have the immediate resources for that. It's a drive to do things for the group, the community, the social network that supports your career, supports your ground base of friendship. So, all that said, now I think we're ready to see what the angels, our guardian angels, have as a way of guidance. So Wait for that. All right, Libra, come on in. We are about to start your forecast. If you're new, I have always done 4-card spreads since I started this channel 10 years ago. And it's just been my experience that a simple reading can often provide even more complex interpretations, because the symbols all have meaning, and it's nice to be able to see their meaning in a very direct and obvious manner. And so this is why I very much enjoy a simple reading. Let's turn this card around. I'm putting in 2 reversals so that if we get a reversal, well, then it will be very significant. I also would highly recommend that you learn how to read for yourself. I did that many, many years ago myself, and not only has it provided a way for me to make friends, to help others, but it's guided me as well through the trials and tribulations of life. I'm a Pisces water dragon, born in 52, and so I guide my life through the ups and downs emotionally. I have an emotional rudder, and you never know where that's going to take you. You, on the other hand, are air, the mind, and you think about many things. And the only drawback to a highly intellectual worldview is that you miss the spiritual aspects of life, which can more easily be felt than thought about. So Libras are very justice motivated. They have a high sense of morality, which goes beyond their own family and friends to embrace humanity as a whole. So this is a sterling quality of Libra. But because they weigh everything so fairly in their mind, always looking at the pros and cons of matters, they can be befuddled by the number of possibilities. Yes, no. So they delay decisions, or they literally can't decide because it's just as likely the other choice is good. So this is a beautiful trait of Libra. I think we've shuffled enough Libra. Let's, what we do is we make 3 piles, and then we reassemble. And we're ready. This is a 4-card spread. The first card represents the overall mood or energy of the month of August. So, let's see. Wow. How is it that this gentleman appears in so many of my readings? He's He's unusually attracted to me. Look at this. This is the 3 of Wands. And actually, well, I can see why he popped up, because it's very appropriate for the matters as described in the astrological forecast. Wands are about career. They're about your ambition. They're about what motivates you, what gets you up in the morning. It's about what you produce and what that production will achieve. Here we have a merchant. You see that? And he's standing on the precipice, the edge of his world, what he's created. And he has 3 wands by his sides, one of which he's holding. We see him from the back. We don't see his face. He's very much contemplating, looking out to these ships that have just been launched out to sea. One of those ships, or perhaps many, have his products on them. The products of his long labor. The 3 wands represent those products. The first one is the inception of an idea. Aha, I get it. This is what I'm going to do. The second one represents the plan. How am I going to do this? What elements, what resources do I have? And so I make a plan. The third one represents the point at which we're at right now, which is having launched his products out into the world. He now contemplates the possibilities of this dramatic initiation of sharing of his idea, the first wand, with the world. It's all about his career, really. And he's pondering the possibilities of those ships being lost at sea for one reason or another. And he never reaping the rewards of his labor. Or perhaps they do reach these far off shores and his products becomes a hit and he becomes wealthy. So he's right there on the precipice of this idea, pondering what could be. And that may be a description of what could be for you. And wands represent creativity, innovation, coming up with a new solution to a problem. And so it's very dynamic. You, again, are an air sign and are very compatible with this fiery energy. Aha. So what's your challenge? The second card represents the challenge in this circumstance. We have an ace to begin. Aces are the first, they're number 1. They begin. The third, he is at this stage where there is a new beginning. He had to labor to get to this new beginning, but this is then a new beginning. Here we have a pentacles. Pentacles represent the earth. It's in the form of what looks like money, in fact. Gold, a gold nugget. And there's a hand coming out of a cloud holding that gold nugget, presenting it to you. 1 gold nugget, which will grow the rest of the nuggets. There are 10 cards, 10 events, challenges, trials that you need to go through before it culminates in karmic reward. But it's promising. You see, there's a garden underneath this gift, and that garden represents the potential, the material potential of growth and harvest, creating a rich, abundant reward. So it's the beginning, and it's your challenge to take that single gift of gold, material resource of some sort, and to plant it into the earth, into the stable, concrete, foundational part of the process. That is creating a good structure and planting that seed in that structure, the structure that was created here. Plant that seed and with love, wait for it to grow. The profession of gardening is in yoga thought of very highly, because it's a spiritual communion you have with the earth when you plant a seed, and the seed grows into something that provides either beauty or sustenance. So you have to respect the process and nurture it and wait for it to grow. Whatever that idea, concept is, you have to wait for it to grow, but you have to nurture it with your resources. Whether those resources are gifted to you or you have created them yourself. You have to wait for that investment to take root and then to grow. So that is your challenge. What is unexpected? We have the Page of Pentacles. Here we have a young entrepreneur at the beginning of his material journey. He's very grounded and stable as a character. He's an earth sign. He really understands the value of savings, the value of investment, and you see he's out in a field as well, giving you the impression of being a farming hand, someone who works the earth and has a relationship with it as a partnership would be. So it's about being at the very start of an enterprise, of a contribution of your skills and your talents in ways that are new and innovative. He's a very forward-thinking individual. Look at him gazing into that single pentacle. That's this one. He's gazing into it. He says, where am I going to plant this beautiful nugget of gold? what am I going to do with it? Unexpectedly, you're at this sort of juncture where you must decide what you're going to do with your skills, your talents, your personal contribution to society, to the world, to your friendships. What are you going to do? So you're again at this stage. He also represents messages, getting a very positive message about where you've planted that nugget of gold. Getting a lot of messaging, but all to do with you finding stability and keeping both feet firmly planted on the ground as you make this, make an inroad into a field that maybe you've never been in before. And so it's a very exciting that portrayed by the excitement of the Three of Wands. But your feet are firmly planted on the ground. This is beautiful. And look at this. It ends. Look how it ends. It ends with the Chariot. This is a very bold energy because it's about, as you can see, a charioteer. Just before he enters the battlefield, he's in a state of contemplation because he knows what's up ahead, the competition, the social interplay, which will have to keep him on his feet, alert, ready to move when needed. The Chariot has a engineering flaw, an engineering flaw is what I said. And that is that it can only go straight ahead. It does not turn. So, symbolically, it's about you being absolutely focused on your goal and not letting anything that's going on beside you, on either side of you, become a distraction. Even though you're in a highly competitive, aggressive environment, perhaps, nonetheless, you have your particular goal in all the chaotic goings on around you. You have to maintain this meditative state of directness, of determination, of absolute focus, which then ultimately brings enormous courage. Courage because you're always in communion with yourself, your higher self. You see the stars in the canopy surrounding the Chariot. That represents heaven, spirit, without which he is unable to reach his target. He is always in communion with his higher directive, the higher self, the wisdom that's inborn. do not disconnect with that inborn wisdom. Stay on target, and the goal will be reached inevitably. This is a powerful card, self-empowerment. Self-empowerment comes from knowing yourself. That's where all confidence comes from. Confiding in yourself. So, that's what's going on. This will have stupendous results. Remember that astrology doesn't dictate. It offers opportunity. If you take it, things become better. If you ignore the opportunities presented by the God, the cosmos, the multitude of angelic forces around us, then life seems without value, without purpose. So surrender to the fact that you are surrounded by angels. And your angels are always going to guide you to those events, those people that will help you on your journey, that are there because they are part of your journey. So this journey this month is giving you the opportunity to advance your idea, the product of your skills and your talents, to present them to the world in some way, and to have absolute confidence in yourself. That is the prescription, the prediction for August 2025. Namaste. Now, wait for the ancient, shamanistic yoga paths that will physically express the energy of this reading. Again, namaste. Welcome, Libra, to your past ancient Mexican yoga paths that correlates to the energies as were described in the reading. The Chariot ended the reading and spoke to me about the nature of the energy that has to be evoked. So I am going to show you a pass called scraping the mud energy. You're scraping the mud off your shoes. You're letting go of everything that weighs you down, that doesn't allow you straight mobility towards your target. So you get rid of that mud under your feet, metaphorically. So let me show it to you. We begin by bending the knees just slightly and staying somewhat upright, and then tilting just a little bit forward here at the hip sockets. Then you hold your arms at a right angle, bending the elbows, thumbs down. Tuck the thumb just a little bit towards the palm, shoulders down. We then lean over onto the right leg, and we scrape the mud off the left foot. Then we switch sides and we do the same on the other side, moving the arms in opposite directions. Here we go. Now, this is the sequence. Left, right, left. Pause. Extend the energy up from the feet. Pull it up through you. Let it travel directly up above your head. Feel the flow of energy moving up through you. Then bend the knees. Lean forward just a little. Then the elbows. We begin again. And this time, we're going to start with the right foot. Are we ready? We inhale. We extend it back as much as you can, but envision what's going on. Letting go of the weight. Left foot. Right. So now let's do the sequence together. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Come up, shake off the tension, shake off it from the hands, sort of like a tremor. Same thing with your feet and your knees and then your shoulders. You shake off the tension. Let's do it one more time. Up. Ready? Left. Right. Left. Now. Right. Left. Right. Let's do it again. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Deep breath. Shake it off. Use that when you feel weighted down by circumstance and release it from you. Scrape it off your shoes. Namaste. Thank you.